This is the part of this side of the bird. And here, imagine this should be the top part and the bottom part. When I separate all this around the bird, I can place two oval shape as a body of bird. It's look like an oval shape. If you imagine, this is one egg shape and this is another egg shape or oval. So very simple, I can draw it, look like an egg shape here. Please not to be worried about the drawing. Always you can fix it. And then the head of this one a little bit on here. Another egg shape. It's always easier to move, to start the drawing with the bigger modeling and then move on to the details. To egg shape, we would like to make it more accurate, look like the birds that we see on a model. So I try to separate the neck part and finish the head and then body. Imagine this is the neck part for this bird and this is for the other. And I move on with the smaller brush, which is easier to work with. And then try to follow the shape that I see. For example, here, the face is a little bit curvy on this part. And then for the head, it's a little pointy on top and then move like that. It'll look like a square, move down in a circle-y shape here. Two small oval shape as the eyes. And then the nip is like one triangle on top, another triangle on the bottom. Oh, sorry, I draw it very low. I need to bring it close to the eye. It's more between the eyes. So I'm going up. But anytime we can fix it, even we can a little bit bring the eyes further. And then smaller here. Gentle C curve on this part. So I start from this part and try to make it a little long. And then with nice C curve, connect it to the branch like that. And I try to use the whole egg-shaped line that I have around this curvy line. In between, it's covered by dark color, but I imagine something look like this line and then curve like that. I know there is nice heart is inside, it look like. So I try to follow this shape. I'm going to add one line here. This heart is start from that. You can add a little darkness around to cover. And then for tail, it's more straight than this angle line that I have. So I try to make it more straight. I will cover it by blue paint. Try to more straight. Hold apart. And then if I want to reach them together with this line, here it moves up in between. And they have a one line separate from each other. The rest I have to add the blue on top and cover those. So for second bird, even if you draw a little straight, try to make it more lay down this egg toward the first bird. It looks like the egg is laid down here because the head is exactly on the cheek of the first bird. So if you draw like that, I imagine the body, it's easy because it looks like a ball. So I try to follow, first of all, make this ball shape as a body. That's more easier to start like that. And the wing is just one line dark here and then there. Then add a tone to separate. This is the wing. After this ball or curvy shape and separate the wing, you can start the face. The face is a tiny curvy line is here, a little straight on top, then move up like that, a little pointy, then down, 1 and 2, like that. Even the 2 line can be a little bit thicker, make darker. And there is not much detail on the face because the eyes, we cannot see the other, just one of them we can see. And then it's nice C curve, small C curve here. And for the nib, it's just one long C curve here, like a triangle, and then connect it together like that. And then the tip is a little pointy. And this is a light blue. You can use this one or cerulean. Both are light. And I don't know all the light blue color that we have, but we have a lot. So any of them you have would be great with a bigger size of brush, because the background is easier to go with a bigger brush. Take some color and take some paint. Actually, you can add the paint on top. You can make it like that, left and right, make it flat, or you can make a texture on top. Heavy paint like this. Texture is like that. You don't need to cover everything. Even leave it like that. After it gets dry, you can feel it, this texture that make on top. it's still orangey, but mixed with this yellow ochre and not sharp like that. Cover whole the part. The hard part, actually, please not cover the darkness. Even if you would like to fix the shape, make it bigger or smaller, it's a good time to do now, but not cover whole the brownie part. So I add a tone. In between, I bring this mixture. I prefer to use heavy paint, and see this brush stroke, it's look like fairy body of bird. That's so nice to make those, not flat. Heavy paint and make it fairy. And I try my best not to lose the shape even. This color. Even for the left side, it's more orangey tone. To cover it. And then clean the brush, not with water. Recommend to clean it by napkin because of the texture we would like to add. And then take pure orange color for this part, which is on the right. And just one stroke, make it more orangey like that. That would be great. And then clean it with. And then move on for the face. The face is the same as body and tail. The top part is more yellowy. The bottom part of the face is more orangey. So I'm going to take yellow, or I mean yellow ochre. I mentioned in general yellow. You can add a tone here. Even you can fix the shape of the eyes and the tip. A little bit accurate. I try to fix the shape, so because of that, I'm moving slowly. Now with a smaller brush, even if it's wet, it's fine. Better to be dry, but if it's not, that's fine. Clean your brush. Narrow and pointy one. We need the brown color that we use for our drawing part. I try to cover the edges a little bit narrow, like that. And draw some darkness around the body of body and the face, head, and everywhere that we need. Some part is a little thicker, some narrow. So add a tone. If it's mixed with yellow, would be okay. Don't be bother yourself for that. You can make pointy here. Little here as a line. And then narrow on this part, then move down a little, make it thicker. And even I add a tone here. It disappeared the tip of the other bird, but that's fine. We will come to add another color on top for that to make it separate. Around the body, here is more thicker. As I mentioned, if they mix together, even nothing happened. That's great. That's fine. And then this part, the right side. Around the tail as well, here, try to be a little narrow, move down. This part of the tail is more thicker. So for the shadow, I prefer to pre-mix the paint, a little bit orange, a tiny bit yellow ochre, mix these two together. And now a tiny bit brown. I would like to make a shadow, but not a dirty one. Because of that, I prefer more orange to have and less yellow ochre and the brown. Something like that. This is a little dark, and it's good to have a shadow as this color. I try to add heavy paint. Because of that, it really takes time to get dry. But if you use flatly, it's better to finish the head and then move the body, because exactly close that, we need to bring pure orange. It's another tone. And again, clean the brush with napkin like that. And take yellow ochre for the right side. Just a pure yellow ochre, but please not separate them with the line. Move on with the yellow to the orange color. And let them move together and blend together. Pure yellow ochre. Like that. Then I have napkin here. I clean it like that. For body, this dark tone. Move to orange. And you see when I add the orange, I try to bring it a little inside the dark tone that I already make. I am not make the line as a separation. sometimes it's so challenging to add the pure yellow because yellow is transparent, it's not opaque, and it's not easy to cover the surface with transparent color. We need to add more layers. I try my best to make it heavy with this yellow like that, but you see, you already can see the brownie color under it. That would be fine. It's look like that color that I mentioned, it's more liquidy. Even the thick or creamy style of yellow, it's look like liquidy because it's transparent. So I let it dry, move on with the orange tone. One touch of orange will come. Clean it. Move on. Even I can start with yellow ochre. Sometimes it's more easy. Cover it. Then move on with the yellow, shiny yellow. That's so helpful. We need to practice different way. Yellow ochre. I'm going to start with the dark brown. Again, cover the drawing part. I have it, but I would like to make it a little wet. Again, so I add a tone here. Even if you like to make a texture for that, you can do right now. And then a little bit thicker, sometimes it's okay. Then clean the brush. I'm not fan of let it dry. I try to bring the blue color inside the wet brown like that. Even if they mix together would be okay. Like a line. And then move on with the yellow ochre. Not everywhere, some part as a broken line. Even I can leave it like that. Then the blue color again, some part like this would be fine. Then clean it. Again, back to brown. Add the tone here. The thickness, it depends on your taste. If you would like to have a thicker branch, you can add more thickness on the line. And then clean with napkin, bring the blue, not everywhere. 1 or 2 touch would be nice in between to make it separate. acrylic paint, a narrow brush, just a tiny bit. We need to make the shine inside the eye, just small part, one touch inside this eye and one touch inside the other to show this is the shine inside the eyes. And even this is so white and pure white with a little yellow and blue. I try to mix and make it just a little cool down like this color. With the same brush, I'm just going to add one line here to make it separate on the tip, and then one line on the top like that. That's helpful to help it visible, the tip, and then separate this part from the other.